Yo, what it do, 2K fans? This your boy JuKING the Boss, and 2K19 is right around the corner with a September 11th drop. Now, we already starting to see the screenshots show up. Giannis first. Now we got a player rating screenshot of LeBron James at overall 98. Now, we've talked about MyCareer, Park, and Pro-Am changes that we want to see, that we expect to see, and even some rumored ones. Now, I want to talk to y'all about some of the other game modes and the gameplay changes. So, when it come down to it, we're going to start off with my team. And first of all, my team, I really do believe we're going to finally see them take the next step to getting rid of contracts. Contracts to me was kind of like a waste of space. I don't think they're going to get rid of them entirely, but I think they're going to modify them so that way a contract is more than just one game. So I think they're going to change it to a seasonal format. So you basically, if you're playing in a challenge, you set up your lineup for that challenge, and each player will use one contract for the duration of that challenge. And in domination, I believe we're going to see more, it getting lean more toward the do 3x route, whereas you'll only lose a contract if you lose a game. If they do this, it's going to balance out the microtransaction a whole lot better. You allow for a casual player to ease his way into this game mode, a new player to ease their way into this game mode, but at the same time, you also allow players to really experience everything in the game itself, not just my GM, not just my team, not just my career, but all of it, by just not catering, but just kind of showcasing that, okay, we want to make sure that it's fair for everybody, but for those who want to like pay a little more to get a bigger, better lineup a lot quicker, to get through all those mundane challenges, so that way they can get to all the real challenges that they like, then you can do that. Another thing is, I think we're going to see them bring in My Team seasons with friends. Now, I read this article by Brian Mazik on Forbes talking about how if they were to do this, they could essentially set it up where each player would start off with a base set of cards, a new draft after every round, and the record would determine the draft order. So the worst record would get the best draft. Now, the only thing I would add to that is that allow for the player rating tiers to go up each round. So from bronze to silver to gold to diamond to pink diamond to amethyst, all that kind. So allow these kind of things to happen, so that way the first player has the best chance of getting the best pick. Okay, but each rating is also only about 4 or 5 points off. So I don't want to see a person get the draft player that's a 90, and the next best player on the board is an 82 overall. Like, it's weird and it's unbalanced. So I think we're gonna see that. Another thing to add to the balance or to the fun factor of it is a leveling system. A leveling system would allow for players to earn XP for each player that they play with. So each player would earn XP for playing in games and what they do in the games, allowing people to move the rock around and use their players evenly instead of just going to their one or two highlight players. But it also means that they can take this player on a journey with them for a longer route. So that way you get comfortable with a player, you can utilize that player a lot longer until you get a better version of that player, or until you actually get a better player that you like to play with more at that position. So I think we can see a leveling system come into play. That's more of a wish list kind of thing, but I can see it coming. Now, my GM predictions, it's really simple. The next chapter for my GM was a really good idea, but it still fell just a little bit short, and the only reason being is because it didn't have anything really dynamic about it. So there are a couple of things that I can see them adding to it, building on it, which is one, options that allow for seasonal rule changes. Anything can happen in the NBA, and the addition of a few new rules could really add to it. Allow for customization of ones and twos, maybe even adding a 4-point line, allowing for a lot more creativity when it comes down to it, to customize the MyGM, MyLeague format. Allow the GM to have some fun, and who knows, maybe even work their way up to owner and relocate the team. Sort of like MyLeague, but for the GM side of things. Now, random events like team relocations due to the team being sold or a big name player joining the team can create a dynamic super team. These things should add the layers to the story that you want to tell in MyGM, and I can see these things being the next step for pushing MyGM forward. Now, It should just be about making office moves and playing games, but dynamic events in the NBA to allow for some storytelling. I mean, look at the Caps playoff run. The Caps finally make it past the Penguins after they've been eliminated in the past 2 years by them, to go on and face a New Vegas team that was led by their by the Caps' former GM. That's storytelling at its finest. You can't make that up. That literally unfolds naturally, organically. So let's see more things like that happen. Now we're going to get on to the biggest part of this. It's a lot to go over, but we're going to talk about the gameplay and mechanic predictions. Now, usually in 2K, we see them reveal gameplay and mechanic changes that we'll see in this installment, and we actually don't see them get tweaked and polished to be a little bit more accurate into the next installment. So we're going to see a lot of those 2K17 changes, those 2K18 changes that we assume we would see in 2K18. We did, but we didn't expect them to be as far off as they were. So we've seen a little bit of the nerf and snatchbacks in 2K18. I've been in the park a lot, and one thing I've noticed since that patch 12 is that when a person hits me with a snatchback, I can actually still recover and close out. And that's something that to me is beneficial. Like it doesn't happen all the time, but if I'm working the defense a lot better, it does allow for me to be able to adjust. Blowbacks, I've started to actually straddle the person and still be put in a position to be able to defend, and a person can only blow past me if I hit the wrong first step. So if I make the wrong first step and they take that ball to the right side, I'm done. You know what I'm saying? So like I've seen them make those tweaks, and we're going to see those tweaks coming in 2K19. So expect it not to look too different from what it looks like right now. And if you haven't been in the park, go in the park and check it out. Check out how it feels. You'll see that same that same thing. The problem with leaning shots in 2K18 actually stems from the shot creator grand badge problem in 2K17. A leaning shot is considered a difficult shot, and in 2K17 a lot of people were trying to do dribble pull-ups to get their grand badge, when I would tell people to do turnaround jumpers because it guaranteed was reading as a difficult shot by the game itself every single time. So it's kind of odd to realize that they took out the grand badges, but they fixed the problem with the leaning shot to actually read off as a difficult shot, and so that's kind of odd and everything like that. It's going to be something we're going to see them tweak and hopefully bring back to give you those set shots, but only by so much. Because if you don't come to a complete stop, any shot you pull off is not just a pull-up jumper. It's a dribble pull-up. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to see that still be there, but just with a little bit less of a thing. Now, I believe the 2K17 steal mechanic is making a return. That's going to be one of those things where it's like giving back players the ability to focus on how they reach, when they reach, and making them pay for reaching wrong. Is going to be like, at one point, you don't want to just see people swiping, but if you're gonna swipe at the ball, at least be swiping the right thing. But I'm also expecting that we're gonna see them adding a ball handler counter mechanic for a little bit more dynamic one-on-one defense offense setups. That's gonna be pretty unique. We can expect to see that in gameplay changes. Like I said, all these are predictions, but they won't be too far off, because at the end of the day, these are the things that needed to be fixed, and this is the only route they can really go with it. So I believe that with the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, we should see a lot less clipping and tighter collision meshes. Not accurate pinpoint collision meshes, but we should see tighter collision meshes, which should create more dynamic collisions and everything like that. Not stiff collisions, not gravity defying collisions. We should see just tighter collisions that are a little more freeform, but at the same time fluid. We'll finally get that freeform off-ball movement that we were supposed to be able to get, and possibly even see a return of the off-ball stick cuts. You remember how you used to be able to use the right stick and make cuts to the basket, or used to use it in a specific direction to do a fake step and cut around And you're going to see those come back because those things add a little more flavor, add a little more detail to the game itself and your ability to play. I also believe that we're going to see that backpedaling in transition crap go away. That was one of the most annoying things on offense. Like when y'all are on offense and your point guard is bringing the ball down and you're backpedaling down the court. Nobody does that. The defense is backpedaling. Why they got me playing like I'm playing defense? So we're going to see that disappear. I think they finally figured out what caused that and why that was reading so wrong. And one of the things is that we're going to feel a little less weighty on the court. We're going to feel a little more fluid and feel like every step is going to count. Every step is going to matter. I think we're going to see the acceleration having a noticeable difference than in past iterations. You remember how in this year's format, the game, like if I got the ball, I'm on the breakaway and if Steph Curry was right beside me, his legs will start moving extremely fast and he straddle right onto me. We're going to see that disappear. If you're not strong enough to keep up with this player and fast enough to keep up with him, you're not going to jump in front of him, okay? You're not going to step in front of a car and not get run over. So we're going to see that happen. So like I talked to you about the return of off-ball cuts with the right stick. And now I believe instead of creating a brand new shot meter, we're going to see us get to choose between maybe 3 shot meters of the past. So maybe 2K18, 2K17, and 2K16, which is something I wouldn't mind. I actually would prefer it because at the end of the day, each player plays just a little bit different. You got the OGs who will feel a little bit more comfortable playing with the 16. You got the 17 fan base will feel a little bit more playing with the 17. You got the new cats who just started playing with 18, who that's what they know, that's what they feel comfortable with. Gone will be the days of post-player chain multiple fakes ending in traveling violations. I think they finally figured it out, and I know a lot of people that made a lot of post players especially mad that you hit multiple fakes, and they were good multiple fakes, and then when you go up, they hit you with a traveling violation. Like, not you move. No. As soon as you go up, they hit you with a traveling violation. So that's going to be gone. And one last thing is the right stick will function properly on defense as an advanced defensive controller. The ability to cut off, the ability to contest shots properly with your skills on the right stick. We're going to see a game that's going to blend towards the stick skills matter. Now, whether all of the features of the MyCareer and everything like that follow suit, and whether all the park follow suit, and whether all these gameplay mechanics showcase themselves in the best light, that's going to be something else. But as far as gameplay changes and these other game modes, we're going to see some good changes come toward them to bring some life back into them. When it comes down to the gameplay and mechanic changes, let me know what you're thinking about them. Would you like to see these gameplay mechanics? Did I mention anything did I not mention anything that you would like to see, man? As always, let me know down in the comments below. Make sure you like the channel if you like the video. Subscribe to the channel, actually, if you like the video. Turn on post notifications. I'm trying to upload content every single day, from 2K to live to new games to old games. Just trying to get a feel for the community and enjoy uploading gaming content. I ain't going nowhere. It's your boy JuKIng the Boss, and I'm gonna catch y'all guys on the next video. Peace.